by material objects, but he understood money never bought respect. He built a reputation cause he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. Criminals he chill with didn't think he was real. See, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He feeding for props like addicts with pipes and needles, so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed. Now I'll tell you about my little homie there. So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Started fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers to crack rock. Working overtime, making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine, fulfilling a Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of them hood niggas treating them the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs, but when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. He told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puppy smoked a motherfucker up in the club. Nigga real dog to stab someone till they die. Standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes. Really realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping a chick to prove he was cold-hearted. Now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men up in his sight. His dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. So he met them Friday night at 2:45. Let's take this ride, fellas. They rolled around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, till they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on her way home. So they quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects. The darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around her head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid. Now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair, dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. Struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. Got to the roof and then they held her down on the ground, yelling, "Shut the fuck up! Stop moving around!" The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in the jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked the ribs and she stopped moving. Blood leaking through the cloth, she cried silently, and then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first when each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. A broken jaw mumbled the guard, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying, bloody broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. He told him that she was a witness of what she gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute, she was practically dead, so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head. Now I have to end my story for you, New York City, the only way that it can end. Right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life, he thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers. Cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover, but what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate his corruption had successfully changed his fate.